It was white. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We're going to call this You're on Your Phone Anyway, so you might as well listen to our podcast. My name is Ryan. This is Grant. And the first question we have today is, why are we doing this podcast?
Why are we doing this podcast? We're doing this podcast to help with practical everyday life lessons.
Right.
Like, for example, Ryan thought that when you pressed cut in a Word document, that it deleted it for forever, and that you had to copy it before you cut it so that you could paste it later. That's actually not true. When you cut, you can paste right away.
I feel like when you cut something, it's gone. It's cut, right? Does no one else have that opinion?
And this is why we're here today. We're going to talk about cancel culture.
Speaking of opinions, this is a podcast where there's just strictly facts. Right?
Yeah. For example, we've got an incredible sponsor lined up today for you. So you're going to want to, this is the part where in podcast where you try to get people to stay on for longer.
Right.
Because they're on their phone anyway, so they might as well stay on. We've got an incredible sponsor giveaway announcement in the middle of this podcast. You're going to want to stick for it.
You're going to stick for it, for sure. Because if you don't stick for it,
then you'll fall for it.
Yeah, you'll fall for it. If you don't stick for it, you'll fall for it.
That's the title of this podcast.
And that's the title of this podcast. Stick it and dig it. Cool? It's the Grant's 2-year-old son staring at me this morning and peeing on the floor for me.
It's the dog. It's the chairs falling for me. No, it's the dog pooping in the house 2 days in a row for me. After I put him out for 30 minutes both days.
It's the spending 10 hours on a table that you're not even going to put in the house for me. It's the Birkenstocks for me for 2 days. Grant hasn't worn socks in 2 days.
I haven't worn socks for 2 days.
Well,
it's the Rocket Power shirt for me. Like, what are we in 5th grade?
It's the 2 shades of blue in your outfit for me.
Yeah, this is aesthetic.
That actually makes sense, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
somebody really cool designed this shirt, but it's a different story.
How's your morning?
It was good. Honestly, think I have the Rona. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have the Rona, but I do have a headache.
Well,
I think we should move on, though.
I think this is a great time to jump into our first segment. Welcome to Teen Time. Everybody welcome in Evan Solis.
Evan, we got a chair for you right here,
The first high schooler on the You're
down
on
on
Your
your
Phone
chair.
Anyway podcast.
We'll have a guest every week for you. This is the hot seat with Evan.
Dude, even your shirt says guest.
Oh, dude, what a guest. I wouldn't have guessed that you would have worn that shirt today.
How you doing, buddy?
How are you, bud?
You good? What'd you eat for breakfast?
Cereal.
Cereal. What's your favorite type of cereal?
Fruit Loops.
So walk us through your outfit today.
What?
Walk us through your outfit today.
Just a casual Guess shirt, some Adidas shorts, some.
Mixing Adidas and Nike, huh? Yep. What do you think about that? What do you think about that out there, podcast viewers? Yes or no on mixing Nike and Adidas?
What do you think about Evan being able to just chug a glass of salsa anywhere, anytime?
Evan chugs glasses of salsa.
World-class chugger.
Yeah, world-class chugger. Right now, actually, we have a bottle of water somewhere on the set. I feel like we should throw him a bottle of water for him to chug this thing.
I think there's one right there.
We have people running all over. Literally, this set.
Scrambling.
If you saw this set right now, I wish we had multiple cameras so you could see how many people are here making this thing happen. Honestly, shout out to the podcast.
Is it a cold one?
Yes. There's like 10 people.
Yeah, we just want to thank everybody on the production team that's making this thing happen.
Evan,
Thank you.
You're not good for a lot.
Evan, I think your head just was out of the shot, but that's okay. Go ahead and chug this.
Chug that puppy.
Faster! That's too slow. That's too slow. Chug, 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 chug. Oh, there's still some in there. Thank you. Yeah, Evan chugged salsa yesterday at La Casona.
I've never seen
Also, while Evan's here, we might as well talk about the fact that at one point on Instagram, I was his close friend, but now I'm not, and Ryan is. So, just wanted to talk about how I got knocked out of the close friends section.
Let me just say this.
What's up?
He never responds. This actually responds. He didn't even open the messages, but he does.
So I'm not a close friend anymore on Instagram. But Ryan is. So Ryan got to see all of Evan's close friend Stories
Let's see the first close friend story that I got last night.
from Evan.
He posted a picture that says, I want to text someone for 5 days.
Woo!
No pictures, no names, no hints. You can flirt, express feelings, talk about your problems, be a jerk, whatever. But you have to stay anonymous. Then after the 5th day, you tell me who you are.
It's like a willful
And then
catfish.
he
It's
lists-
like you want to get catfish.
And then he lists his phone number for everyone to see on social
But just
media.
close friends, which I'm not. I'm not a close friend.
And called him out and
Just
said,
remind me.
y'all are too scared to text me.
Well, let me just say.
So now we're going to give out Evan's number right now for everybody on the podcast.
979.
Text him 979.
Can you walk us through what you were thinking when you posted
What
that?
were you thinking, Evan?
Look, I just wanted to do something fun.
Did anyone actually text you?
Yeah.
Did anybody text
Yeah.
you? Were they anonymous?
Yes.
What? Tell me the first text. Let's pull up your phone right now. What are some of the texts you got last
The
night?
first one was.
And they can't tell you who they are after 5 days.
Oh my god!
What if it's
is
a family
that picture?
member?
Did you see that picture? Oh my gosh.
This one, Sebastian already gave up his name. Sebastian.
So he already
Shout out
ruined the
Sebastian,
game.
Yeah.
So what was the first text you got though?
This person played me in darts.
Oh.
That's it?
That was the first.
That's
person.
not what we were looking for. Dude, it could
This
it
one-
could say you could be a jerk.
Yeah, it's a jerk flirt, and we're playing darts. Like, what are we doing out here?
All we did was talk about favorite color and favorite song. And
Those code words.
If you were a principal of a school, what's the first thing you'd change?
I'll let girls wear spaghetti strap. Because no guy looks at a girl's arm because like, wow, look at those shoulders.
So arms don't turn you on.
No.
Big shoulder guy.
Dress code.
So you think spaghetti
What if you
straps-
just had a nudist high school?
So that's your first thought. When you just think of the grand scheme of the public school
That's the only
system,
thing I can think of right now.
the dynamics in the culture.
The first
within
thing you
a
think
high
of
school,
is,
the first
hey,
thing
free women's shoulders!
the first thing
We want women's shoulders to be free!
when you just think of the entire dynamic of a high school, the first issue that just really sets you off is the
Is
fact
the
that
injustice of
spaghetti
women's
straps, spaghetti straps is
The danger!
It's not far enough to fall under dress code. It's not far enough.
Oh, man. So where do you draw the line at on the shoulder? Where should the dress code go for the shoulder?
That don't matter.
Oh.
Like nobody looks at the arms and is like, wow, look at those arms.
You don't think it's a little revealing of,
No.
of the
Yeah,
chest
yeah,
area?
Yeah, no, it's not even the chest. It's the
Oh
arm.
my gosh. Becky, look at her arms. Okay.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, it is.
Cake or ice cream?
Cake or ice cream? Ice cream.
Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Church or school?
Church.
Drums or guitar?
Oh, drums.
Ocean or the mountains?
Ocean. Same thing. Beach.
I got one.
Pepsi or
Because I
Coke?
know what he's going to choose. This is such an Evan question.
Coke. What?
Louis Vuitton or Gucci?
Louis Vuitton.
I knew it.
Oh my gosh.
Louis
What's your
Vuitton.
favorite thing about Louis Vuitton?
Virgil Abloh.
The design.
Let's see. What's your I don't know, monthly income that you get to spend on Louis Vuitton? What's that look
I don't
like?
spend it. My parents do.
Oh,
Shout out.
shout out to
Listen,
your
Robert.
parents. You should probably thank your parents.
Thank you.
I want you to say, look in the camera and say 2 nice things about your parents right now. I want you to get in that camera. I want you to get in that camera right now.
Evan, before we transition here and kind of get rid of you, and to be honest, you'll probably never be on the podcast again. This was awful. So, before we do that, if you could give if you could leave the world with one sentence of advice, if you could leave whoever's watching this one thing, what would you tell them?
I would just say be nice to people, treat them how you'd want to be treated, even if you're doing a podcast show and the person on there isn't like the best.
All right, Evan, thanks for
All right,
everything.
thanks,
Yeah,
Evan.
boy.
You went with the golden rule. That was about
That's what I'm talking
the most
about.
boring advice I've ever heard. Okay, let's get our set
We're
back in place.
transitioning into.
What do you, okay, comment in the, is there comments on YouTube? Comment on the YouTube comments. What do you like better on the table, Evan or the plant?
Evan or the plant?
I'm going to go with the plant.
I don't know.
All right, here's Evan. Yep. I'm just kidding.
As long
Evan.
as you don't have spaghetti straps on.
Evan has joined the gallery of all of our production crew now. It's a pretty impressive
What a
crowd.
cool kid, right? What's your favorite memory about Evan so far? since you've known him?
Honestly, so far, my favorite memory is when I took him to for Lex's birthday to a Thai food place, and I told him to get yellow curry, and I could just see it on his face as he ate the yellow curry, how disgusted he was, and he tried to act like he wasn't, and then he silently asked his parents for different food. Until they wanted to run it out, and he wanted me not to notice the whole
Yes!
time. But the entire time I could tell on his face.
My favorite memory of Evan is the fact that he went through all this trouble to get your son a play drum set, and we forgot about it every day.
We have forgotten about it. That is the truth.
And
We
now
need to
you
get that
showed it
saved.
to him.
Also, Evan helped with this, so that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I like Evan. I like Evan a lot. Well, hey, this episode is sponsored by Chipotle, where you can get your burritos, your bowls, and your smiles. You can use discount brown rice for 50% off of free water. Thank you so much. This week in small town big news here in Angleton.
Sorry, I almost lost my mind.
This week in small town big news in Angleton, Texas, Angleton ISD helps teachers juggle their children and their students.
Okay, first thing I've got to say about big town, small news. Small news, big town, small town, big news. First thing I'd say is, what kind of teachers can juggle children?
That's a strong teacher.
That is a strong
I had
teacher.
some
I'm just looking at our
big
gallery out here, a production crew that is all teenagers, just hundreds of teenagers out here. And I'm just thinking, I could not juggle these guys.
Ma'am, can you stop trying to juggle me and Brandon? It's the first day of school.
They're like, and how do you juggle through Zoom? Like, that's another question I have. I just don't understand. I mean, anyways, so
I can't
honestly,
believe-
shout out to all the teachers
Shout
out
out to
there.
all the effort for
Teachers,
juggling your students.
we are going to feed you this year. We really are going to do that. We're working
are.
on it right now. Yeah, once a month we're going to feed teachers out of school.
Please don't
So,
juggle us when we get there.
Yeah, please don't juggle us. We just want to help. We don't want to be juggled, honestly.
No juggling over here. Juggling's always fascinated me.
Yeah, honestly, I can only juggle one thing at a time.
I don't think that's juggling. I think that's just throwing. Oh no, that was a metaphor. You focus on one thing.
Oh,
before you
no,
go on
I
to the
actually,
next.
that was literal. Yeah, literal.
Okay. I think I could juggle here. Guys, toss me a couple of those
Oh,
waters.
this is a big time thing on the pod. We're
I
in the
wasn't gonna
stew
do
right
this.
now on the pod.
I wasn't gonna
Can
do
you
this,
actually
but
juggle?
I can actually juggle.
I did not know you could do that. I did not know you could do that. That really impressed me. Where's my water now? Out of those? With the
I don't
corona?
know.
I feel like we should
And we're
mark it.
all sick, so that's good.
Yeah, all sick,
This
but
one
we
is
are. We're
there.
living together, so we're technically social distance.
It's the living with you, and I'm 24 years old for me.
Yeah, it's having a 24-year-old second son for me.
It's the you mowing the lawn in the pitch dark last night.
I did. And ran out of gas and I had to go fill it up. That was brutal. Yeah, because I spent 10 hours on a table that we're not going to use. Anyways,
Will you tell them a little bit about that?
the table.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm rebuilding the
I'm
table now.
so sick of this table.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if any of y'all feel this way, but like when I get in my head about something, I just have to get it done. And unfortunately, when it came to this table, I made a lot of mistakes because I was learning for the first time, didn't have the right tools, and this story's getting really boring now, so we're going to stop.
Say hi! Motivation
42.
Monday! Motivation Monday with your coach that you don't want, but everyone needs. When you feel like stopping, think about why you started.
That's right.
When you think that you are stopping, when you think that you're stopping, remember why you feel like starting.
That's right. When you feel like stopping that Zoom call, remember why you started it.
When you feel like stopping, think about why you stopped. And then stop. Stop if you don't want to.
And stop if you want to.
And
Start.
then start if you want as well.
That's your Motivation Monday.
That phone is 100% falling as I'm watching it. Good job.
That was very risque.
That was very risque. Can we jump into a little culture convo this week?
Culture combo this week. So, Teen Vogue, which everybody gets their news from, apparently. No, nobody does. Has this article, The Future of Happiness. And basically it's talking about that people in modern day America want happiness so bad. Social media shows that we want happiness. Everybody's fighting for happiness, pursuing happiness. And basically the stat is, let me read this, 15.5 million Americans take antidepressants, a number that has tripled since 2000. And so happiness is on decline, but pursuit of happiness is on the incline. And we can't figure it out. And they're trying to figure out science of how to do that. But I just want to remind you, in this one serious moment in this podcast that is never serious, that Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." If you're heavy laden in your soul, pursuing happiness, Jesus says, "Hey, come to me. Take my way of living. Live how I live. Do what I do. Look at what I do in the Bible. See what I do in the Bible. Do it yourself. And come to me every time you need rest. And in me, you'll find the rest you need." And really, I think that when we have a restful soul, we're going to be happier than if we have an unrestful soul. And that's my culture combo of the day.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Ever since I moved here, for those of you who don't know, I've been here for a while now, 8 days. So I've gotten to, learn about the culture here in South Texas. I've got to get everyone's opinions who, have lived here their whole life or have moved here recently, but have been here for at least a good amount of time to understand what it's like here. And the one thing that I've heard since I got here is that the Mexican food is just the best Mexican food in the history of the world. And so for our first food review, welcome to the podcast where it's not a food podcast, but we're going to review all the food and give all the opinions about it.
That's right.
It's okay. The Mexican food is okay.
Yeah, but in defense, you went to El Jimador and ordered an American dish at a very traditional Mexican restaurant. You were like, "Hey, can I have the gringo burrito?"
It's the paying $25 for one entree for me.
Yeah, also shout out to El Jimador. We're going to go ahead and sponsor you in this podcast and ask that you would sponsor us by giving us a refund, because I think that I overpaid the other day for my lunch.
All I'm saying, it's good. But the one thing I don't like is the chips here are like Walmart chips, like the tortilla chips.
El Jimador wasn't. El Jimador makes their
Yeah, they
own.
were.
No. You are out of your mind.
They're not
La
homemade
Casona
chips.
kind of is.
Yeah. What?
El Jimador is definitely homemade.
They are homemade?
Yes. El Jimadors are bomb.
I will say the food that I've had since I've moved here, the Chinese food I hate Chinese food.
Shout out to the Rice Box. Gets mentioned once a month in Life High.
I literally haven't eaten Chinese food in 20 something years.
But all you
At
needed was
least.
that chow fun, baby.
And all I needed was that chow mein,
Chow fun.
champagne.
On the beat with Post.
Champagne
Malone.
without the sham.
Yeah, they didn't sham you.
Yeah. And it was really good.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
With that, though, I just think that I want to take a moment just to speak some things into existence.
Okay.
First thing I want to speak into existence is that Graham's school would be paid for the rest of the year, and that I would never have to pay for his
Yep.
school again.
I want a Tesla.
That's way better than mine. Honestly, I just want all the food my son eats to be for free.
I would like a girlfriend eventually.
Now taking applications for Ryan's girlfriend. You have to be 18 or older. You have to sign a waiver that you will not be too clingy. And I'm just kidding.
What's one thing you learned this week?
One thing I learned this week is that so much. I don't know. I plan better.
Yeah, so I started off this podcast with being honest with you. Can I be honest with you again? I 100% threw those Whataburger receipts away because I thought I was cleaning your car out for you.
One thing I learned this week: take
And the
care of
whole-
receipts right away, because Ryan will throw them away in your car.
We got in the truck this morning, and Grant is freaking out because he can only find one Whataburger receipt on the floor. But yesterday we took a bunch of kids to lunch, and you're complaining about the truck being dirty. So I was like, "Ooh, I need to pick up all this trash in here for you." And all of the Whataburger receipts that were on the floor that you needed to turn in to the church because you paid for $150 worth of Whataburger gift cards, I decided to pick them up and put them in the trash can. And so this morning
this
when we
is on
got
record.
in, so on record, this morning when you got in and you were like, "The church is going to kill me, the church is going to kill me, the church is going to kill me," I'm thinking in the passenger seat the whole time, I threw those away. I threw those away. But I didn't want to tell you. And then I threw up when I got here and didn't want to tell you that either. So we'll work on our honesty this week.
Yeah, honesty is important.
Close this out.
Yeah. I just feel like we gotta do a hard close with this.
Yeah.
In the comments, tell us what you liked. Tell us what you hated. Obviously, if it's Evan, try to be nice in the comments if that's what you hated.
It's also the fact that we took 45 minutes to set this up for me.
Yeah, honestly, this is the third Stew's short for studio that we
Yeah.
tried out, and I like it.
Let us know if you like it.
Yeah.
See you next
If
week.
not, then we'll stay here next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good Monday.